Papua New Guinea's authorities have already partially dismantled shelters and issued a warning that the compound is going to be demolished. The facility was officially shut down last month after it was ruled illegal, but hundreds of asylum seekers have refused to leave. They've been living without regular food or water. Journalist Karen Middleton says the eviction has been delayed once already, but Monday's firm deadline shows Papua New Guinea has had enough.
The Australian government ultimately, I guess, is responsible for this centre. The Papua New Guinean government certainly believes that it is. The Australian government is trying to find somewhere to send these people to. Most of them have been confirmed as genuine refugees. There were 587 to start with in this detention centre. We're being told that about 120 of them have now voluntarily moved to 3 other centres that have been set up. They were complaining that those centres were not in a habitable state for them to move. But with that still leaves about 400 men at this centre. And as you say, we now have a deadline of tomorrow. This is the second time this deadline has been shifted in the hope that everyone would leave. But you get the impression from the Papua New Guinean government that they're kind of sick of this whole issue. Their cabinet has met in the last couple of days. They have now set this Monday deadline as a firm deadline, and they are warning these men that they will move them forcibly if necessary. The land that the centre is on belongs to the Navy of Papua New Guinea. So we have a situation where the PNG government wants them to shift. The Australian government is hands-off at the moment, but desperately trying to negotiate for somewhere else for them to go. And New Zealand is stepping in and making an offer for some of them and reinforcing that. The New Zealand Prime Minister is going to meet with our Prime Minister at the East Asia Summit in the next few days in the Philippines and reinstate and reinforce that offer quite firmly. Well, successive Australian governments have supported this offshore detention regime. In fact, it was a centre-left Labor government that set this system up in the first place. But it's been controversial for many years, and there are split constituencies, I guess. There are some Australians who are very much in favour of a hardline immigration policy, who don't want to see asylum seekers coming here by boat. And certainly the current government has held the line that none of these people will ever get to Australia. They argue that they need to have a hardline policy like this to stop people drowning at sea, because we did see thousands of people coming by boat. But there is another part of the community here in Australia that is very disturbed by the way this has played out, that feels that Australia's human rights obligations are to find somewhere for these men. There are some people still campaigning to bring them to Australia. Incidentally, the men themselves have told me that they don't want to come here anymore because they don't trust the Australian government.